Hello
So,
everyone, this is Dr.P.Syamala from the Department of MBA.
under this
IB.
second the B bit,
University.
okay, under first B bit, make
And
any
today's our topic
payment. You
is
should not make
regarding
any payments to
Foreign
or
Exchange
for the credit
Management
of
Act
any person
1989, which is
resident
also known
outside
as
India in
FEMA
any
Act
manner. Okay,
1999.
so
Before
payments
going
should
to
not be made
tell
by
about
us.
Foreign
If
Exchange
at all,
Management Act, we
if
have
at all
to
it is
talk
a
about
credit payment
FERA.
also.
Why? Because
Okay,
in
outside
FERA
India,
place,
the person
FERA
who
is
is
replaced
residing
by
outside
this
India,
FEMA
okay, we
Act.
should not
FERA
make
is
any
nothing but
payment.
Foreign
Okay, under this
Exchange
dealing with foreign
Regulation
exchange,
Act.
because
Okay,
there will be an authorized
so
person.
in
Authorized
place
person
of
only
FERA, in
should
place
deal
of
with all these
FERA,
payments
FEMA
or
came into
receiving
existence.
anything. Okay,
So FERA
or
is about
receive
only
otherwise
regulations,
through an
regulation
authorized
of
person
foreign
any
exchange.
payment by
Foreign
order or
exchange is
on
nothing
behalf
but
of any
foreign
person
currency,
resident
okay,
outside India
which
in any
includes
manner.
drafts,
Okay,
deposits,
so here also
credits, okay, travelers checks.
no
Okay,
no person
all these
shall
things can be considered
pay
as foreign
okay
currency.
pay
Okay,
orders
so foreign
on
exchange
behalf
means
of
not
any
only the
other
currency
person,
of
okay, who is
notes and
resident
coins,
outside
but
India.
along with notes
Okay,
and
we should
coins,
not pay
okay,
on
the
behalf of the
deposits,
person who is
drafts,
residing
credits,
outside India.
travelers
On
check,
behalf of that
okay,
person, we
bills
should
of
not pay
exchange,
here to
all
the authorized person.
also
Okay,
can be
so this is
considered
also
as
content.
foreign
Here
currency.
another thing is
So
under D on
that
debit,
foreign
enter
currency or
into
else under
financial
foreign exchange,
transactions in
there
India
are
as
very stringent and
consideration
strict rules
for
at
in
that time,
association
which is
with
known as Foreign
acquisition
Exchange
or
Regulation
creation
Act. Okay,
or transfer
so due
of
to
a
that,
right
in
to
in our
acquire
country,
any
we may
asset outside
not
India
pull up more
by
reserves
any
in our
person.
country
Okay,
for
so
foreign
if at
exchange.
all,
Okay, due to this
if at all
stringent
any
rules,
person want to
foreign
purchase
exchange
any
is
asset
not
outside
that up
India,
to mark. Okay,
means
so
definitely it involves financial transactions.
after
Okay,
this
so
seeing
whenever we are
that
purchasing or else when we are
more
acquisition
stringent rules
of
are
assets or
hindering
else
the
transfer
development
of rights
our country.
regarding those
In
assets, okay,
1991,
outside India by any
LPG
person means.
policy has
Okay,
been introduced.
so it is also
okay, which is
not
known as liberalization.
it should also not to be
privatization,
done.
and
Okay, so
globalization.
entering
Okay,
into financial
in that
transactions
LPG policy,
in
they
India
have included
by
this FEMA Act at
the
that
person
time.
who
Okay,
is residing
so
outside India.
we are liberalizing the
So it is also
rules and regulations
not
regarding the
accepted.
FERA.
Okay, so here
FERA
we
means
have to look after
Foreign Exchange
dealing
Regulation
in transfer of any foreign
now,
exchange
which
is not allowed.
replaced
Only
by FEMA
authorized
Act,
person
which is
only
known as
have to
Foreign
done. So
Exchange
payments also should
Management
not be
Act.
done. Okay,
Why? Because
any person resident
for
outside India,
having
okay, in any
free,
manner.
free
So
trade
if
between
the
the
person who
countries,
is residing
to
in India,
increase
he should
foreign
not pay to the
exchange,
person who is
okay,
residing
so
outside India, even though it
for
is
the
credit also
development
you should
of the
not pay.
country, okay,
Next,
so
receive
we
otherwise
have
through an
liberalized
authorized
our
person means
rules and
receiving
regulations
payments by
by
order, okay,
replacing
on
FERA.
behalf of
Okay,
any other person
by
who is
replacing
resident
FEMA in place
outside
of FERA.
India.
Okay,
So it is
so
also not accepted, even
if
though
we
we
see,
receive
so
through
what does
authorized
FEMA
person,
means?
okay,
As
but
FERA is
it should
related to Foreign
on behalf
Exchange
of that person we
Regulation
are
Act,
receiving means so
FEMA
it is
is
also payment
related
is
to
made
Foreign
means it
Exchange
is also not
Management
accepted
Act.
on
Okay,
behalf of
so what
other
does
person
this
is not
manages?
accepted.
We'll see. Okay,
Entering into
so
financial
as of now,
transactions
what
like
does the meaning or
acquisition
else
of
what is
assets
the
or else
definition
transfer
of
of
FEMA
rights of
means?
the rights on
FEMA
the
is
assets, okay,
an act
so
of Parliament.
these are
Okay, we
also
all know
not
that
allowed,
any
okay,
act will be made in the
outside India,
houses of
okay,
the
outside
Parliament, which
India
are
by
nothing but
any
the Lok
person
Sabha and
who
Rajya
is
Sabha
residing
of
outside
India.
India
So in
want
order
to purchase assets
consolidate
here,
and
okay,
change
so
the
entering
law
into
relating
financial
to
transactions or else
foreign
getting the ownership
exchange
rights, so it
with
is
the
also not
objective of
accepted. Okay,
facilitating external trade
so
and
if
payments,
we see
and for
in
promoting
all
the
these
orderly
aspects and
development
features in
and
everywhere we will
maintenance
see
of foreign
inside
exchange
India,
market
outside
in
India, like
India.
this. So what is
So
this?
to
So
consolidate
basically if
means
we
to
see
combine.
FEMA Act
Okay,
means,
so
okay,
what we are
under FEMA
consolidating or
Act
else
we
what
will
we
study
are
about
combining means we are
according to the
combining the rules and
applicability will be
regulations
according to the
of
residential
both
status.
FERA and
I said this
FEMA.
before.
Okay,
Okay, depending upon the
so
residential
wherever
status of
there
the
are
person,
more stringent
applicability of
rules
FEMA
and
Act will be
regulations
there.
in FERA,
So what is the
those are
residential
somewhat
status means?
liberalized in
Residential
this
status
FEMA
can be
Act.
divided into
So
two
both
types. One is
FERA and FEMA are
person
combined here. Consolidated
person
means
resident
combined.
in India.
Okay, consolidate ideas
Person
of
resident
both
in India.
FEMA and
Person
FEMA in a single law, which is known as Foreign Exchange
outside
Management Act. Okay,
India. PRI
if we
person resident in India,
and change the law or
PROI
amend the law
resident outside
relating
India. Okay,
to
so first
foreign
of all we have
exchange,
to know
okay,
about these two things.
relating
Then
to
we
foreign
can
exchange.
understand the
Foreign
concept,
exchange
because
is
in
nothing
each
but
and
the foreign
everywhere
currency.
this
Okay?
residential status will be
Foreign
taken
currency,
into
which
consideration
includes
for
not
the
only
application
notes
of
and
FEMA
coins,
Act.
but
Okay,
also
so we have
drafts,
to know what
credits,
is that person. Is
okay,
that person resident in
bills of
India or
exchange,
resident outside
travelers
India?
check. All
Okay,
these
so if
comes
the person
under
is
foreign exchange only. Balance of
PRO,
payments,
I means
letter of
person
credit.
resident
Okay,
outside India,
so
means
many
the
things
person
will be
who is not
included
PRI
in this
is
foreign
considered
exchange.
as
So foreign exchange
PROI.
means
Then who is
it is
PRI?
foreign currency.
Okay,
And also includes
so
all
who
those
is PRI
aspects.
means
Okay,
a
so
person
now we are
residing in
consolidating
India.
and changing the law
Okay,
relating to foreign exchange.
PRI
Okay,
means
so
person who
so
will
what
be
is the
residing
objective?
in
Means
India.
objective of facilitating.
For
Okay,
more than 182
facilitating
days.
external trade
Okay,
and payments.
person residing in India
So
for more
external
than
trade
182
and
days
payments means
during the
it is
preceding
related to the
financial
imports
year.
and exports.
Means current
Okay,
year, for
so
example, current year
facilitating
is
the
2024.
external trade means we
What
are
will be the preceding year?
facilitating, we are
2023 will be the
encouraging
preceding
exports
financial
and
year.
imports.
So
Okay,
in this
and
preceding
at the same
financial
time
year,
exports means
okay, that
we
person
are
should
getting
reside
money
for
into our
182
country.
days. Okay,
Okay,
so
and imports
that
means
person
we are
is
paying the
considered as
money. Okay, so
person
payments,
resident in
outflows,
India.
inflows and outflows, which is nothing but exports means
it
inflows
does
will
not
be there.
include.
Imports
But
means
does
outflows
not
will be there, which is
include.
nothing
What
but
it
the
does
payments.
not
So
include means,
all these external trade and payments,
even though
objective of facilitating
person
all this external
resides
trade
in
is
India for
about
182
foreign
days
exchange
in the
management
preceding
act, and at the
financial
same
year,
time not only facilitating and also for promoting
if at all the
orderly development.
if at
Okay,
all these
orderly
three
development.
purposes,
Development
these
is okay, but what is
specified
orderly
purposes
development means here?
are not considered
Orderly
as PRI,
development
even
means
though he is residing for 182 days in the
for promoting
previous
these
preceding
trade
financial
and
year.
payments. Okay, so there should be some
What are
person
those
to
three?
order. Okay,
If these three
so who is
conditions
that
are there,
person
means
to
he is
order all
not
these? Who is
considered
the
as
person
PRI,
to
even
see
though he
all
is
these
residing for 182
trade
days.
aspects?
So what are
means
those means?
there is an
For
apex
on
body, okay,
taking
which
up
is nothing
employment
but RBI.
outside India.
Okay, so RBI look after. RBI is the apex
For
apex bank.
or
Okay,
on taking
so
up
RBI
employment
look
outside
after
India,
this
if he is a person
foreign
taking
exchange
employment
aspects. Okay,
outside India,
and
means he is working
as
in
the apex body
outside
RBI,
India for
okay,
employment purpose,
under RBI,
or else
as it
he is
whole and
carrying
solely,
on
it cannot
outside India a
look
business
after
or
all the
vocation.
aspects
Okay,
of external
business
trade and
or
payments.
vocation.
Okay, so
So outside
for the
India,
development of
one
trade
is he
and
is
commerce,
doing
okay,
a job
so
or employment outside India,
it
doing
approves
business
a
or
person
vocation
known as
outside India,
authorized
or
person.
else
Okay,
for
so
he
an
doesn't know,
authorized person will
he
be
will stay outside
appointed
India
by the
for an
RBI.
uncertain period.
So
Okay,
through
uncertain
authorized
period.
person only,
So
all
these are the three
dealings
things.
will
For
be
uncertain
done.
period
Okay,
means for
according to
any other
section
purpose, in such
10,
circumstances,
he
as would
is
indicate his
all
intention.
section 10,
Okay,
11,
that
all these
person's
deals with
intention
the
to stay
authorized
outside
persons.
India
So
for
here
an uncertain
orderly
period. So the
development
time
means
is not known.
order
How much
will
time
be
he will
made
stay
by
in
the
outside India.
RBI
So
through
in these
authorized
three
persons,
cases,
and
even though the person
maintenance
resides
of
in India
foreign
for
exchange
182 days
market in
also,
India. So
he
how
is
the
not considered as
foreign
PRI.
exchange
He
market
is considered
maintained
as PROI,
in India means through
person
the apex
resident
body
of
known
India.
as RBI,
Right?
and which gives approval
And this
to
is
the
case
authorized
A.
persons, or else
Okay,
which
so
appoints
if we
some
see
authorized
case B.
persons, which gives
Okay,
RBI gives
so under
some
case B,
license
person
to
who
all
has
these
come to
authorized persons.
or
Okay,
stays
all
in
these
India.
authorized persons
Okay,
deal with the foreign
this is
exchange
related
trade.
to this A case is
So
related to
the
a
FEMA
person
Act
who has gone
1999
out
is
of
a
India.
law to replace the
or who
draconian
stays outside India.
FEMA
So
Act
this case is related to
1973.
that.
So,
If we see
previously
in
this
this
FEMA
case
Act
B,
was known
a
as the
person who has
Draconian
come to
Act
stay
as
in India.
it has very stringent
Stay
and very
in
rigid
India.
laws. Okay, so that is why it is known as a draconian law. So the FERA Act was enacted in 1973. Okay, so
Person come to
in
stay
the
in India in
backdrop
either
of
case otherwise
acute shortage
for
of
or
foreign
on taking
exchange
up
in the
employment
country
in India.
and was
Okay.
subsequently
For what
reviewed in
purpose? For taking
1993.
employment
Several
in
amendments were enacted
India,
as
or the
part
same
of
business
ongoing
or
process of
vocation,
economic
or else-
liberalization relating to foreign
doesn't know.
investments and foreign trade for
or else,
closer interaction and world
his
economy.
intention to
Okay,
stay in India
so this
for
FERA
an
Act was
uncertain period of
enacted
time.
in the year 1973. So
So
previously,
in these three
if we see
cases,
the history of FERA Act, it
Okay.
was first
he is
introduced in the
considered
year
as PRI.
1947.
He is
Okay,
considered
this was
as
first commenced by the
person
British people. Okay, they
resident
introduced
in
this act in India.
India.
So they
But
named it as
the
the
same
Foreign
three
Exchange
cases-
Regulation Act in the
Okay,
year
if we see
1947.
here,
And
he
this
is
was
not considered
restructured
as
in the
person
year
resident in India
1973.
even though he stayed for
Okay.
182
So
days.
in 1973,
So if
we
the
all
person
know
who
FERA
want to
is
stay in India,
as a draconian act,
for
which
the
is
purpose
nothing
of
but
employment,
having a
for
very
the purpose
stringent
of
laws.
business
Okay.
or occasion,
So
for the purpose of
which
or
these
else
stringent
uncertain
and
period,
rigid
he doesn't
laws
know how much time he
doesn't
will stay in
help
India.
for the
So
development
in these
of
three cases,
our
he will be
economy due
considered
to these
as
laws.
person
Okay, why?
resident
Because
in
more
India.
restrictions
Okay.
means
So
no person comes
if we
forward
see
to
another thing,
have a trade with our
residential
country.
status
So
regarding
in
artificial
1973,
person. Artificial
after
means
1947,
we
in
all know
1973
companies
FERA was
comes under this
restructured,
artificial
and
persons,
after
body,
1973,
corporations,
okay,
companies.
so in
Okay. So any
1991,
person
okay,
or body,
at that time our forex
registered
reserves
or
has fallen very
incorporated in
lowest
India,
level.
Okay.
Okay, and
will have a
to
residential
overcome that situation,
status,
the
okay,
government
or else an
introduced
office, branch or
LPG scheme.
agency
At
in
that
India
time, our
owned and
finance
controlled
minister
by a person
Manmohan Singh,
resident
he
outside
introduced
India.
this
Okay.
LPG scheme through introducing this FEMA Act. Okay,
It is
so in
also
this
considered
year,
as
in 1991,
PRI.
okay,
Why?
so
Because
they
this
introduced
branch
this
is
FEMA
presented
Act.
in
Actually,
India.
this
Again,
was
I am
introduced
saying
in the
second
year
case also.
FEMA
First
1990.
case, any
Okay,
person or
then
body,
this
corporate,
bill was
registered or
1999.
incorporated
After
in
this,
India
it was
is considered as
passed in the
PRI,
year
and
1999.
any office,
Okay,
branch,
and
agency
finally
in
this act
India
was implemented
owned
in
and
the year
controlled by
2000.
person resident
Okay,
outside India.
so after
Okay. It is also
1991,
considered as
okay,
PRI,
where we
okay,
our
and an
country
office or
liberalized
branch
the
office outside
FERA
India,
Act
okay,
into FEMA
outside
Act.
India,
Okay,
but owned
so
and
many
controlled by a person resident
liberalizations
in India.
in the
Okay.
rules and
Even though
regulations
the
have been
office
taken.
or
Okay,
the branch is outside
so
India,
after
but it is
that in
controlled by
1999, okay,
person
FEMA was
resident
replaced
in
by
India.
FERA, even though it was
So
introduced in the
therefore,
year 1991.
it is also considered
okay,
as PRI.
bill was
So the
passed in the
residential
year
status for the natural
1999,
person
and it was
and artificial
implemented
person we
in the
have
year
discussed.
2000.
So I
Okay,
think
see here,
you can have
1990
a
it was
clear idea
introduced,
regarding person
1999
resident
passed,
in India,
and
person
2000 it was
outside
implemented.
India.
Okay, so
Right? So
this
depending
is the
upon this
history
residential
of
status
FEMA.
only,
Okay,
every aspect will
so
be
if we
considered in
see,
FEMA.
if we want
Okay.
to know
So
about the FEMA
if we
means,
see
we
in
have to know
this,
about what is
second
FERA also.
aspect
Okay,
of
so for
features,
that purpose,
okay,
I
we
have
have
given here certain differences of
completed this
FEMA
first
and FERA.
aspect.
Okay,
Okay, in
FERA
under
is
features
nothing but Foreign
dealing in
Exchange
foreign
Regulation Act
exchange.
of
Okay, so
1973.
authorized person
And
will
FEMA
be the
is
dealing person, and these are the
1999.
cases
Okay, which
that
is nothing
any
but
person should
Foreign
not
Exchange
deal with.
Management
Okay,
Act. Here
and
regulation,
in second
here management.
feature,
So if
holding
we see
foreign
about
exchange,
origin, what does
okay,
origin
holding
means?
of the
In
foreign
1947,
exchange.
okay,
The
FERA came into
who-
existence.
which
Okay,
person can
and if we
hold
and amended in
the
the year
foreign exchange
1973.
means
Here,
provided in this
FERA.
act.
So
No
if we see
person
FEMA, it was
resident
introduced,
in India,
okay,
PRI,
introduced and was
shall
implemented
acquire, hold, own,
in the year
possess or
1999.
transfer
Okay,
any foreign exchange
and
or
coming
foreign
to
security
extraterritorial
or
applicability.
any
Okay,
immovable
so
property situated
extraterritorial
outside
applicability
India.
means
Okay,
here
if at all
both
any of
Indian and
these
foreign
are
residents. Okay,
situated
Indian
outside
residents
India.
and foreign
Okay,
residents will be
person
there.
resident
So
in
what
India,
is the
he should not
extent of
hold these
applicability
things.
means
Okay, so
only
for
it is
this also there are
applicable
so
to
many
Indian
acts we will
only.
discuss in
Okay,
further.
not for
But as of
foreign
now, for
residents.
features,
If we
holding
see
foreign
here,
exchange
okay,
according to section 4
yes,
means
it is
no
applicable for
PRI shall
Indian
acquire,
residents
hold,
as well
own,
as
possess or
foreign
transfer
residents.
any
In
foreign
fact, if we
exchange or foreign
talk about
security or
the
any immovable property
application of the
situated
FEMA
outside
Act,
India.
okay, it is and FEMA Act sees the residential status of a person. Okay, residential status.
So if we see,
So what does this residential status means? It depends upon the person residing in India or person
here
residing outside India. So depending upon that residential status,
so we are missing
okay,
here current account
territorial
transaction
applicability
also. Okay,
will be there. But
here
it
before
is
this
not
capital
like
account
that.
we
Okay,
have
it
current
is
account
applicable to
transactions.
the
So what
persons
are
in
current
India.
account
So
transactions means current
extraterritorial
account
applicability
transactions
is,
deals with
is not
section
there
5
in this
of the
FERA.
act. Okay,
And
so under
what is
current
the
account
objective means? To
transactions,
conserve
any
foreign
person
exchange and
may
prevent
sell
its
or draw
misuse.
foreign
Okay,
exchange to
so what
or
is the
from
main
an
objective means?
authorized
In order
person
to
if such
conserve the
sale or
foreign
draw
exchange,
is a
to
current
maintain more
transaction.
foreign
Okay,
exchange
under
reserves.
current
Okay,
transaction
so
any
to
person may
maintain, to
sell or draw
conserve them, to
foreign
prevent
exchange.
them not
Okay,
to
that too
misuse
from
them.
an
So
authorized
for that
person.
purpose
Okay,
only
so
the rules and
but it
regulations
has
were made
however been
in FERA.
provided that
But if we
central
see
government
in
may in
FEMA, it
public interest
facilitates
and in
external
consultation
trade
with
and
the Reserve
payments,
Bank
okay,
imposes
and maintenance of
certain
foreign
reasonable
exchange
restrictions
market
for
in
current
India.
account
The
transactions.
basic
Okay, so what are those
objective is
restrictions means?
facilitating,
Payment
okay,
due in connection
it
with
liberalize
foreign
the
trade,
laws,
okay,
rules,
or else current
regulations.
business
Why? Because
services, short-term banking
why
and
means
credit facilities
for the
in
external
ordinary
trade
course
and
of business.
payments,
If there
encouraging
is
the
any
external
payment
trade
due,
and
okay,
payments, and
so
maintain foreign exchange market. Foreign exchange market is nothing but the foreign currency, which is including both all the bills of exchange, credit, okay, a letter of credit, all things will be comes under this currency along with currency. So it is known as foreign exchange market. So if we see violation, so violation means here under FERA it is considered violating the FERA rules means it is a criminal offense. Okay, but
so if
in
we see the third
FEMA,
point, okay,
FEMA,
so the third
it is
point
considered as a
regarding
civil
the current
offense, okay?
transactions.
So
okay?
violation
So
of
current
laws means
transactions of section 5.
it is
okay,
criminal
section
law,
5.
but now it has
current
changed. Okay,
transactions.
so liberalized the rules and regulations of FERA and changed it to civil
Current
offense.
transactions.
Okay, and compoundable
So under
means
current
no.
transactions, any person
Compoundable
may
means
sell
no.
or
Here,
draw.
yes.
Okay.
So what does
Foreign
compoundable
exchange,
means? For example,
from an authorized person. Okay.
Here,
But
if
some reasonable
any
restrictions
person
were
made
so what are
violation
those
of laws
reasonable
means
restrictions means?
ultimately
Payments.
he
Okay.
is
Payments
entitled
due
to
in
get
connection with foreign trade.
criminal punishment. It is
for
considered as a
current
criminal
business
offense and
services,
punishment will
short-term
be there.
bankings and credit
Okay,
facilities
but
in
here
ordinary
if we
course of
see in
business.
this
So
offense, okay,
short-term current
that
account means
if
it
at
is
all
related
there
to
is no
short-term
criminal
accounts
law
only.
in here, but
Short-term
if at all
transactions only,
if there
short-term
is
banking
any
only. Okay.
like that
So
means that
even though
offense will
those
be
are
okay.
in connection
For
with
example, imprisonment
short-term
has
only,
been
but
made
they
for
are related with
6
foreign
months, for
trade.
example.
Okay.
Okay,
So
that can
payments
be
are restricted,
compounded
and at the same
by
time
paying
payment
some
due
amount.
as
Okay,
interest on loans.
so that is known
okay,
as
payment due
compoundable.
as interest
So that
on loans
compoundable
also.
facility is
One
not
is
there in
payment
FEMA, but
regarding
there
the
is in
credit facilities and
FEMA.
ordinary course
So
of
criteria
business.
of applicability.
Or
So what
all
is
payments
criteria of
are
applicability
restricted at the
means
same
here
time.
it will take
Payments
citizenship
due,
as
okay,
criteria
means
for
we have to pay.
applicability
Payments
of
due
FERA
means
Act. But
at some
coming
point
to
of
here,
time we have to pay
residential
as interest
status.
on
So
loans
is
and
he
as
residing in
net
India
income
or
from
outside
investments.
India?
So
It is
it may
considered.
we have
But
to
here
pay, or
is
else
he
the
Indian or not? That
we
is
may
taken
receive
into
in the form of
consideration. That is
income. Okay,
under FERA
on
citizenship is
investments.
considered
Okay,
as
either payment or
criteria for
receiving in this
applicability. But
payments. Okay,
coming to
or
FEMA,
else
FEMA residential
remittances.
status
Okay,
is
so
considered
remittances
as the
for living
criteria of
expenses of
applicability.
parents,
Now
spouse
coming to
and
types
children
of
residing
transactions.
abroad.
Okay, here no, not
And also
such
expenses in
transactions are
connection
applicable.
with. Okay,
But here we have
expenses
two
in connection with
transactions
foreign travel,
majorly, which are
education
known
and
as
medical
capital
care of
account
parents,
and current account
spouse
transactions.
and children.
Okay? Current
In
account
these
transactions
only
are nothing but the
current
transactions
account
that are
in these
related to
aspects short
short-term or else the daily business
RBI,
activities.
the Reserve Bank
so
of India,
those transactions are considered as
allowed
current account
the
transactions.
people.
Coming to capital account transactions,
In
those
these
are
transactions
considered
only it
with assets
allowed
and
the people
liabilities. Okay,
for doing
so
payments
depending
with
upon those
or else
capital
from
account
an
or current
authorized
account
person.
transactions will be made.
Without
So,
authorized
but
person we
here
cannot do
in
all
FERA
these things
there
also.
is no such type
Okay,
of
so
applicability.
some with
And
some
number of
restrictions.
sections means
Okay,
here
some
81 sections are
reasonable
there in
restrictions.
FERA. Coming
So
to
the
FEMA,
payments can be
it has
made for
decreased
short-term
to
banking
49.
credit
Okay,
facilities.
and
Okay,
emphasis will be
or
on
else receiving
prohibitions,
or
majorly
paying
on
the interest
prohibiting,
on loans,
restricting
or else
everything.
for
But
remittances
here
for living
disclosure
expenses of parents, spouse
everything
and
is
children
going to
residing
be
abroad. For
known.
example,
Okay,
if our
each and everything
parents
is
are
known,
residing
disclosure. But here it is
in abroad.
everything is
Okay,
prohibited.
so we are
Okay,
paying
so
some
due to
living
stringent laws,
expenses
rules and
for parents
regulations,
means.
very
Okay,
strict
so it is
restrictions are
considered.
there,
Okay,
prohibiting
likewise
everything.
expenses
Okay,
in connection
but
with
here
any foreign
disclosing
travel if we
everything.
are doing for
So that is
going for
emphasis
any
made on
tourism.
disclosure.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so here
for that
for example
payment
if we see
is
means, okay,
allowed. For
in
education
disclosures,
it
if
is
he is
also
a
allowed.
person
For
resident
example,
of
if we see
India means,
TOEFL,
so
okay,
what are
those
the
people
rules and
will pay the
regulations
amount for that
should be there.
purposes.
Okay, according
Medical
to that
care of parents
applicability of
who are
FEMA Act
living
will
there.
be there.
Okay,
So each and
so for
everything
this
is
in connection with
disclosed
all
here.
these
But
aspects,
here there are more restrictions. Okay,
limited permittance is
and
given
if we
by
see
the
the purpose
RBI.
or
Okay,
theme of FEMA,
so this
so
is
what
about
is
the
the
current
purpose or
transactions.
theme
If
of
we see
FEMA means,
capital
the main
account
purpose
transactions
of
according to
FEMA
section
is
6 means,
to manage
so capital account
foreign
transactions
exchange
are
exchequer. Okay,
subject
so
to
foreign
provisions
exchange
of
exchequer,
Act.
what does
Any
foreign
person
exchange
may sell
exchequer
or
means?
draw
It is nothing
foreign
but the
exchange
foreign
to
exchange
or from
market.
an
Okay,
authorized
foreign
person
currency
for a capital
exchequer is
account
nothing but the
transactions.
foreign
Okay,
currency market.
so RBI,
So
through
FEMA
RBI
ensures this by
from an authorized
managing the
person, capital
expenses
account
by foreign
transactions
currency
can be done.
exchequer. So what is
So
the main
RBI
purpose
may,
means?
in
It is to
consultation
manage
with
the
central
foreign
government,
exchange.
specify
So managing
it
the
specify
foreign
any
exchange
class or
means
classes
more
of capital
seeing that
account
having more
transactions
exports.
which
Okay,
are permissible.
okay,
So
and at
it
the same time
categorizes some
imports
classes
also.
which are
So
permissible.
we all know that
Okay, to
here exports
go for
means
capital
inflow
transaction. At the
of
same time,
cash
the
will be
limit
there.
to
Inflow
which
means
foreign
while we
exchange
are
shall be
exporting our
admissible.
goods to
Okay,
other
to
countries.
which class?
Okay,
Okay,
we are
for
selling our
capital
goods to
account
our
transactions,
other
and at
country.
the same time
Then what
the
does other
limit
country do? They will
of
pay
the
the
amount
So
for
that
foreign
is the
exchange.
inflow
Okay,
of
so
cash,
that is
which
also
is nothing
mentioned.
but the
So
income.
RBI
Export
in
means
consultation
income.
with the central
Okay,
government,
so if we see
it
import,
specifies
import means we
the
are
class
paying
of capital
the amount.
account transactions. So
we are paying the amount
capital
means
account
if we are
transactions means assets
purchasing
and
any
liabilities.
products
So
from outside
which class
India,
of
okay,
assets, which
so
class of
when we are
liabilities were
purchasing means definitely
permissible.
we have to pay
Okay,
the amount.
likewise
So that
the
is an
amount
expense.
to
So
what extent they
this
are permissible.
FEMA, so this is
Regarding to capital account,
it manages the
and coming
both
to
export
BBIT
and
under this,
imports means
without
both income
prejudice
and
to
expenses, which is nothing but the
generality
foreign
of the
currency
above mentioned
exchequer.
provisions
So
of
we'll see,
RBI,
let's have
Reserve
an
Bank
example. Okay,
maybe
if we
regulations
see,
prohibit, restrict
liberalized
or
remittance
regulate
scheme.
the
Okay,
following.
so liberalized
Means in
remittance
above
scheme
case,
means every Indian
some classes
citizen
were
will be allowed to take
permitted,
only
some
$2
amount
lakh
limit of
$50,000
amount
for the
is
purpose
also
of
permitted.
foreign
But
expenditure.
some
Okay,
regulations,
so that is known
some
as
prohibitions
liberalized
were there.
remittance
So what
scheme.
are those? Can
Means
be
we are
studied under this
liberalizing
BBIT.
the
Okay,
amount.
so
Okay, that is
one
under the
is
remittance
transfer
scheme.
or
Means
issue of
every
any
citizen
foreign
of India is
security
allowed to
by a person resident outside India.
use the amount.
Okay, so these persons are restricted. Okay,
$250,000 for the purpose of
for
foreign
doing
expenditure.
capital account
For example,
transactions, who the
for
persons
any
residing
education purpose or
outside
else for any
India.
medical
Okay, they
expenses
cannot
if you want to
transfer
pay.
or issue
Likewise,
any
okay,
foreign security.
every Indian
Okay,
citizen can draw
by
only
a person who is
2,50,000
residing
for the
outside
purpose
India.
of
So they
foreign
cannot
expenditure.
transfer
If he
any
want
foreign
beyond that
security
means
or
limit,
else
he
they
should
cannot
take
transfer or
permission
issue
from
any
RBI because
security
RBI
or
is the
foreign
apex bank
security
who is
by any
controlling this
branch,
trade and
okay,
commerce.
or
So by
office
implementing
or
these kinds of
agency
limits,
in India
okay,
of a person
FEMA will
resident
control
outside
the
India.
expenditure
So foreign
that
security
are
cannot
being
be
made
transferred,
by
at the
foreign
same time
currency
securities
exchequer.
by any branch
Okay.
offices also cannot be
So
transferred. Okay, likewise
so why
any
means
borrowings or
Indian
lendings in
government
rupees
maintain
in
foreign
whatever form
exchange reserves
or whatever name
known as
is also not allowed.
foreign
Okay, so
exchequer.
borrowings
Okay,
or lendings in
why
rupees.
maintain
Okay,
means, okay, means
when India wants to
likewise
import
transfer or
any
issue
product,
of any
okay,
security by person resident outside
then
India,
the payment has
so
to be made
either
in
foreign
dollar
security
or currency
or security
of
anything
where
of
we
transfer is
importing,
not
but
allowed
they
by
will
person
not
resident
accept Indian
outside
currency.
India. Okay,
So
likewise
this is
any
the
borrowing
reason
or
why
lending
India
in
will
rupees in
maintain
whatever
foreign
form
exchange
by whatever
reserves.
name
This is
called between
foreign
a person
exchange
resident
reserves,
in India,
foreign
okay,
exchange
PRI,
exchequer, okay.
and a person
So
outside
this is the
India
reason why
also not
India
allowed.
maintains. So
Likewise,
the income to
deposits
the
between
forex
PRI and
exchequer will be
PROI,
generated
okay.
if we make
Deposits are
exports,
not
okay.
allowed from
Here the
person
currency will be
resident in
more,
India
the
and
reserves
person
will be
resident outside
increasing.
India.
When means
Deposits
when our
between these
exports are
persons,
more,
PRI and
okay.
PROI.
Also, and then
there are
those countries
certain
makes whenever
regulations,
we make exports,
okay, likewise,
okay,
and
earn
on
income, then
export
those
and import
countries
or
makes payment
holding
with
of
India
currency,
in dollars.
we may not hold currency
or
in
else
our
in
hands,
that
okay, we have
country's
to
currency.
return
So
it
in
to
the
the
same way, if we
authorized
import
through
expense,
authorized
then
persons,
we
we have to return
pay
to the bank, okay,
the
or else if we want
in the
to
same
keep with us
currency
means,
to that
so we
country,
have to
okay.
follow certain
So
rules
in
and
this way,
regulations, okay.
so
This
foreign
is also
currency
not there.
reserves
Export and
can be
import
seen.
or holding
So
of currency
in
is
order
not
to
allowed.
maintain this
So
foreign
transfer of
currency reserves
removable
or
property
exchequer,
outside India,
for foreign
okay,
exchange
other than a
management
lease
act
not exceeding 5
manages
years
the
by
foreign
a
exchange,
person
okay.
resident
So
outside India.
it
A person who
ensures
is resident
the
outside India,
management
he
of
cannot transfer
expenses. This
immovable
is very
property
important,
outside
okay.
India.
And if
Except
we see
only
the
he can
objectives,
take
okay,
for
so
lease,
what are the
that too not exceeding for 5
objectives
years. Okay, so another one
of
is acquisition
FEMA,
or
okay.
transfer of
So what are
immovable
the
property
objectives
in
means?
India.
First one,
Otherwise
as
than a
we
lease
seen
not
in the
exceeding
definition
5 years
itself,
by
okay,
PROI,
facilitating
person
and
resident
promoting,
outside
okay. So what
India.
is
He cannot
facilitating?
acquire,
Facilitating
he cannot
external
transfer
payment
the immovable
and
property
trade,
which is
which
in India,
which includes
okay,
the
other
imports
than
and
lease.
exports.
Next
Okay,
one, giving of a guarantee or
imports
surety
and
in respect
exports.
of any debt, obligation or other liability incurred by
Facilitating
PRI,
means
person
imports
resident
and
in
exports.
India. He cannot
So
give any
external
guarantee or
payments
surety to
and
person
external
resident
trade,
outside India. It
we
is
are
not
facilitating. So the
allowed.
objective,
Okay, so
main
they are
objective is that
restricted.
only, facilitating
Likewise,
the external
person
payments
resident in
and
India
external trade. Then only we can
and
have
person
foreign
resident outside
currency,
India.
okay, foreign
by
exchange,
person
foreign currency
resident
exchequer, okay.
outside India.
In the
Next
same
one,
way,
a PRI,
promoting.
a person resident in
One is
India may
facilitating,
hold,
other one is
own,
promoting.
transfer
So
or invest
promoting
in
means
foreign currency, foreign
orderly
security
development,
or any
orderly
immovable property
maintenance,
situated
okay.
outside
So
India.
orderly
If
development and
such
orderly
currency,
maintenance
security
means,
or
as I said
property
before,
was
order means
acquired or
an
held,
apex,
owned by such
apex
person when
bank
he
will be
was
there, which is known
resident
as our
outside
Reserve Bank of
India.
India. So it
Okay,
gives
so
orders,
actually,
okay.
PRI
So
is not
on
allowed to
behalf of
hold, own,
RBI,
transfer or
it
invest in foreign
it
currency.
gives
But
powers to the authorized persons. It gives
when
some
this person
persons
is residing
it
outside
approves
India
some authorized
or
persons
inherited from
to
a
do
person
all these
who was
activities.
resident
So
outside India,
orderly
in such case
development,
only
orderly
PRI may
maintenance
hold, own,
of foreign
transfer
exchange
or
market
invest.
in
So
India.
this is a
Okay.
restriction.
So in order
Okay,
to see the development and maintenance
such
in
that
foreign
when
exchange,
he is resident
okay.
outside
So the
India,
main
at
objective
that
will be
time
the
he
facilitating
owned
and promoting
the
of the
property or
foreign
else,
exchange market
anything
in
hold, own,
India.
transfer or invest.
So if we see FEMA means it
And
is a
another case
regulatory
is a person
mechanism
resident
that enables
outside India,
RBI
PROI, may
and central
hold,
government,
own,
CG means
transfer
central
or
government,
invest in Indian
to
currency,
pass
security or
regulations,
any
okay,
immovable
and
property
rules
situated
relating to
in
foreign
India
exchange,
if such
okay,
currency,
in
security or
tune with the
property
foreign
was
trade
held or
policy
owned by
of
such
India
person
with the
when he was
recommendations of
resident in
central
India.
government.
So
RBI
this is the case of
exercise its
PRI and
authority.
this is the case
The
of
rules and
PROI.
regulations will be
So
passed
when
relating to
PRI
foreign
is
exchange,
as he
okay.
was
So
resident
this is
outside India
about
at
the
that time,
foreign
if
exchange
he
management
had
act
purchased
and
the foreign
the
securities
objective
means
of
it is allowed.
foreign exchange
Likewise, a
management
person
act.
who is
Basically,
PROI,
if
person
we see
resident outside
majorly
India,
means these
he
two will
may
be the
also
objectives,
possess the
major objectives of FEMA.
hold,
But if
own,
we see
transfer
other
or invest in
aspects of
Indian
objectives
currency or
means
security,
it will
but
consolidate
when
when he
The main
was
objective will be
resident
the
in
consolidation
India, at
and
that time if
amending
he had
the law
possessed it
relating
means
to foreign
it is
exchange, means
allowed,
uniting
or
or
inherited
combining
from
the
a
FEMA and
person who
FEMA
was
acts
resident
and
in
revising
India.
them. Okay, and at the same time to promote
Without
orderly
prejudice to the
development, to
provisions of
regulate
this
foreign
section,
capital
the
in
Reserve Bank
India,
may
then
by
grow
regulation
and
prohibit,
develop our
restrict or
economy. Okay,
regulate
to regulate foreign
establishment in
capital,
India of
to
a
remove
branch,
imbalance of
office
payments
or
or
other place
unfavorable
of
balance of
business by a
payments.
person,
Okay, to remove
person resident
what
of
to say
outside
balance
India
of payments or
for
unfavorable
carrying
balance
on
of payments
any
means,
activity
for example,
relating
if
to such
imports
branch,
are
office
more,
or
okay,
other place
if
of
imports are
business,
greater than
okay.
exports, for
Provisions
example,
of
means
the
what does this
section
means?
given
Imports
by
means
the
we are
Reserve Bank
payments are going,
by
outflow of
regulations,
cash will be
by
there.
prohibitions,
Means
by
okay,
restrictions.
outflow of
It
cash flow
regulates
means it
the
is an imbalance.
establishment
Payment
in
means
India.
expenses, or
What
cash is going
establishments,
outside,
branches,
expenses.
offices or
So
any
what does
business
it show?
places by
Reserves
a person
will be
resident
decreased. Okay,
outside
foreign
India for
exchange
carrying
reserves
on
will
any
be
activity.
decreased.
So
there will be
there are
imbalance
provisions,
between
there are
the
regulations, there
exports
are
and
restrictions.
imports.
Okay,
So
for the
we
person
should
who
see
is
that
outside
the
India,
FEMA Act should
PROI, okay,
see to that
establish
removing
any
the imbalance
branch
of
in India.
okay payment of balance of payment,
And if we
or
see
else
the fifth
unfavorable
point under
balance of
features,
payments. Okay,
export of goods
likewise
and
more
services
transparent
according to
laws
section
will be
7.
the another
Okay,
objective
so
of
first one
FEMA.
is
Okay,
under this,
more transparent laws
every
means
export
policies,
of
provisions.
goods
Okay,
shall,
no confidentialities,
okay,
everything
every
is disclosed
export
in
of
the laws.
goods
Okay,
shall,
so that is
first
the
a
objective,
point
more
under first
transparent
point,
laws,
okay,
and
furnish to
getting
the
a
Reserve
substantial
Bank
increase
or
in
to
foreign
such
reserves
other
also.
authority
Okay, this is
a
another objective,
declaration,
to increase
okay,
the
a
foreign
declaration
reserves
should
and
be
increasing
given, okay,
the inflow
declaration
of
should be
foreign
given in
currency.
such form,
Okay, and
and in
decreasing the
such manner
outflow of
as may
Indian
be specified.
currency. So all these are
As
the
specified
objectives
by
of
the
FEMA.
Reserve Bank.
So now
According
if
to
we
that, the
see the
declaration
features
should
of
be
FEMA.
given. Okay, so
So
when
what are
it should
the
be given,
features?
every export
Features
of goods,
FEMA.
whenever a
So
exporter
features of
is
FEMA means
exporting goods,
every
the first and
exporter should
foremost feature
furnish,
of FEMA
okay,
will be
the
dealing in
declaration
foreign
form which is
exchange.
according to
Dealing
the
in
specifications
foreign
of
exchange,
Reserve
which is
Bank.
nothing but
Okay,
foreign
and
currency,
correct
including other
material
items also, as I said
particulars.
So
So
this
in
dealing
that
in foreign
declaration,
currency
what they will
is according
give
to
the
section
information
3.
means about
The
the
Act
correct
describes
material
what are those
particulars,
aspects, okay,
including
so
the
dealing in
amount
foreign
also
exchange
representing
means
the full export
provided in this
value.
Act,
What is the
rules or
value of the
regulations
export,
made
or
there
if
under
the
or
full
with
export
general
value
or
of
special
goods is not
permission of
ascertainable, means if
RBI,
it is not
no person
measurable
shall,
means,
okay,
at that
so
time of
dealing in foreign
export,
exchange
the
means
value which the
who is
exporter
the
having regard to the prevailing
right
market
person,
conditions, okay,
who is
expects
that
to receive on sale
authorized
of
person,
goods
who
in a
is that
market
approved
outside
person,
India.
because
So if at all
apex
person
at that
is
particular
RBI,
time and RBI
if
should
the value
approve that
is not
particular
able
person.
to ascertain
So
means,
dealing in
so
foreign
depending
exchange
upon the
means,
prevailing marketing conditions,
we
okay, the exporter have to
as a
give
person
the
we may
amount,
not singly
okay, he
deal
has to
with
mention
other
that
person,
amount depending
okay,
upon the
but
prevailing
through
market
an
conditions.
authorized person,
Okay,
we have to deal with foreign exchange, otherwise it
next
becomes
one is
under violation of law. So
furnish
regarding that
the
dealing
Reserve
only,
Bank any
these
such
features
information
will be there. So
as may be
special
required by
permission of
RBI for the purpose
okay,
of
rules and
ensuring the
regulations
realization
made
of the
there
export
under for
proceeds
dealing this
by
foreign
such
exchange
exporter.
with
Okay, so
by RBI,
everything,
okay,
every
and
information
no
should be
person
furnished by the
no
exporter
person
with the Reserve Bank regarding the
shall
realization of the
deal
amount.
in
So how
or
much
transfer
value is
any
to be
foreign
going to be
exchange,
taken,
okay?
realized. Okay,
No
so
person
those
should
particulars
deal
should be given. Okay,
in
so receiving
transfer
amount
any
realization means, for
foreign
example,
exchange
if
or
the
foreign
exporter
security
exports his products,
to any
so the
person
amount will be
not
realized.
being
So that
an
value should
authorized
be given
person.
proper particulars.
If he is
So
not
the
an
Reserve
authorized
Bank may,
person,
for the purpose of
no
ensuring that
person
the
should
full
not
export
deal with
value
this
of goods
foreign
or
exchange
such
or
reduced
foreign
value of goods
security.
as the Reserve
Okay,
Bank determines,
foreign exchange
having
means,
regard
as I said
to the
before,
prevailing market
foreign
conditions,
exchange means
is
currency,
received
okay,
without delay, direct
deposits,
any exporter
credits,
to
balance
comply
payable,
with such requirements as
letter
it
of credit,
deems
bills of
fit.
exchange,
Okay,
all
if at all
comes under the foreign exchange.
for example,
Okay?
any value
If we see
of the goods
foreign
are
security.
reduced,
So what does foreign security means?
than their actual
Security
value,
is
if
in
the
the form
Reserve
of
Bank has
shares,
reduced
okay?
the value
Share,
means,
security
then
means
every
shares,
exporter has
stocks,
the right,
bonds,
to comply
debentures,
with
or any
such
other
requirements
instrument
according to the
denominated
prevailing
or
marketing
expressed
conditions
in
without
foreign
delay.
currency.
They
Okay?
have to approach directly,
So,
any exporter to comply with such requirements.
all these things should be dealt by only
They have
the
to
authorized person only, but not
exporter
any
has to
other
comply
person.
with such
Okay?
requirements.
So, make
As he had
another one
given
is
the value
no
of
person
the
shall make
goods.
any payment.
If at all the
to
value
or
of
for
the
the
goods
credit
has
of
been
any
undervalued
person
means, for that
resident
also
outside
particulars
India
should be
in
submitted,
any manner.
and every
Okay? We
exporter
should
of
not
services
directly
shall
pay
furnish
amount
to the Reserve
okay,
Bank or
for
such
the
other
credit of any
authorities
person.
a declaration
Resident,
in
he
such
is the
form
resident
and in
outside
such manner
India.
as
Okay,
may
that
be
person
specified,
is
containing
resident
the true
outside
and
India.
correct
He is
material
not the person
particulars in relation
inside
to
India.
payment for
Okay?
such services. So export of services shall furnish to the Reserve Bank authorities a declaration form will be given regarding the services containing the full material particulars, correct material particulars in relation to payments, for receiving the services, payments should be made, and regarding that a declaration form should be given about full material particulars. And coming to sixth point, relations and repatriation of foreign exchange. So repatriation is nothing but bringing back our amount. So through exports our currency has gone outside, means outflow of cash. So through repatriation again we have to bring back our money through through exports we have to bring back. Through imports our money will be gone outside. So through the repatriation we have to bring back. So provided in this act, where any amount of foreign exchange is due or has accrued to any PRI, means person resident in India, if such person is any amount of foreign exchange is due for that person, or else accrued amount should come to that person who is a person resident in India, such person shall take all reasonable steps to realize that amount. Reasonable steps should be taken to repatriate that amount to India. Such foreign exchange within such period and in such a manner as may be specified by the Reserve Bank. So he has to take necessary steps to get his income, the person residing in India, according to the rules and regulations of specifications of Reserve Bank. And coming to seventh point, exemption from realization and repatriation in certain cases. So the provisions relating to realization and repatriation of foreign exchange shall not apply in certain cases. So repatriation of amount, bringing back our amount, or realization of amount means getting our amount. For example, for selling of our products we get our amount, that is realization amount, and repatriation is bringing back our amount. Likewise possession of, but in certain cases it shall not apply. This realization and repatriation shall not apply where possession of foreign currency or foreign coins by any person up to such limit as the Reserve Bank may specify. More than that, more than the limit of the Reserve Bank specifications, persons cannot possess the foreign currency or foreign coins. And foreign currency account held or operated by such persons or class of persons, and the limit up to which the Reserve Bank may specify. So as we said before, that Reserve Bank so it gives some provisions to certain class people, some limit to the extent of amount they can use. So for that also they have given to some people some provisions. So those provisions of those class of persons and the limit to the amount for financial security, foreign securities, okay, held or operated by such persons will act according to the Reserve Bank as may specified. Okay, they should not use this realization and repatriation provision. Okay, so they are exempted from this. So foreign exchange acquired or received before the 8th day of July 1947, or any income arising or accruing thereon which is held outside India by any person in pursuance of a general or special permission granted by the Reserve Bank. So, before July 1947, any income arising or accruing thereon which is held outside India by any person, okay. So in that case, even though the person residing in India, he is accrued to get that income, he has to receive that income which transactions have been made before July 1947. In that cases, special permission should be taken from Reserve Bank by that particular person. Why specifically July 1947 means it is the date of birth of FERA, Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, which is incorporated by the British people. Okay, so for that reason, here before that, any foreign exchanges transactions have been done means any accrued amount is there means, so with special permission from Reserve Bank, okay, they can acquire. And foreign exchange held by a person resident in India up to such limit as the Reserve Bank may specify. If such foreign exchange was acquired by way of gift or inheritance from a person referred to in class C, including any income arising therefrom. Okay, so foreign exchange held by a person resident in India, there will be a limit according to the specifications of Reserve Bank. Okay, so if the person has that he get the foreign exchange, he acquired the foreign exchange through gift or inheritance means it is not accepted. Okay, likewise foreign exchange acquired from employment, business, trade, vocation, services, honorarium, gifts, inheritance, or any other legitimate means up to such limit as the Reserve Bank may specify. So every person, if any person resident in India, if he received foreign exchange, if he acquired foreign exchange means, so it should be according to the specifications of Reserve Bank limitations. Okay, even though it is a legitimate means, up to such limit there will be according to the Reserve Bank specifications should be there. Okay, and if we see last one, such other receipts in foreign exchange as the Reserve Bank may specify. If at all there are any other receipts which are to be received by the persons residents in India means, so depending upon the specifications of the Reserve Bank, okay, they may have the receipts in foreign exchange. Okay, so those are all the features of FEMA Act. So if we see about the penalties, contravention and penalties means, so what are contraventions and what are penalties? Okay, so basically we will study about the penalties. So contravention and penalties. So penalties deals with section 13. Okay, section 13. So under section 13, what does penalties means? Actually penalty means a fine or a damage, okay, or jail. These will be the penalties. Okay, so penalty is nothing but the punishments. Okay, so what are those punishments means, what are the forms of those punishments means, one is fine, either in the fine form, either in the penalty would be in the form of damages or in the form of jail. So fine means they have to pay some amount to the government, so that is a penalty, one type of penalty. Or else it should pay damages to the other party. So if for example buyer and seller is there, okay, seller sold a defective item to the buyer, okay, so in that case the seller has to pay damages to the buyer. Okay, so damages are paid to the other party. If we go for another penalty, which is nothing but jail, means a person will be imprisoned by avoiding the violation of laws. Okay, so these are the penalties. So in FEMA Act, imprisonment is not given to any person. Only fine and damages comes under penalty. So in in the initial class only, I have said that differences between FERA and FEMA. Okay. So FERA means regulations. So regulation means it treat violation of law as a criminal case. Okay. But if we see in FEMA, see the violation of act as a civil case. Okay, so under civil case we will not see imprisonment. Okay, we will see only fines and damages. Okay, so but if that person not pay the penalty, if at all the penalty is not paid, means within prescribed time, because time will be given within that time the penalty should be paid by that person. So then the imprisonment comes under this act. Okay, penalty will be made on that person. If that penalty is not paid, in such that case only imprisonment comes under there. Okay, but generally imprisonment will not be seen in FEMA Act. Why? Because only fines and damages will be seen under penalty. So if we see contravention, what is contravention? It is the breach of the provisions of FEMA Act. Means breaking of the rules, breaking of the regulations, notifications, orders, directions, circulations, everything are relating to FEMA Act. If at all any person violates all these, means it comes under the breach of act. Okay, so it is nothing but the contravention. Okay, they are violating those rules and regulations. So if we see penalty, so what does penalty means? Penalty up to thrice. Okay, up to thrice means 3 times. Okay, of the sum involved in such contravention where such amount is quantifiable. Okay, so quantifiable means measurable, or up to 2 lakh rupees where the amount is not quantifiable. If the amount is not measurable, means in such case they have to pay 2 lakh rupees. If it is quantifiable, means if for example 1 lakh is the penalty. Okay, so that the transaction amount is 1 lakh. Okay, so but the penalty will be there for the violation of the act will be the thrice, means 1 lakh into 3. Okay, 3 lakhs has to be paid. Okay, the sum involved on regarding this contravention means breach of provision. For that breach of provision, 3 times they have to pay. For example, if transaction include 1 lakh, means 1 lakh into 3 lakh should be paid, where the amount is quantifiable. If the amount is not quantifiable, for example, okay, then in such case what should we do? Means 2 lakh rupees should be paid. Okay, likewise where continued contravention means they are doing the same mistake continuously. For example, if they are violating the regulations, they are violating the notifications, means for example of FEMA Act, they are doing continuously the same thing. Okay, then 5,000 per day, penalty of 5,000 per day will be sanctioned on that person. If any person fails to make full payment of the penalty imposed on him under section 13 within a period of 90 days from the date on which the notice for payment of such penalty is served on him, he shall be liable to imprisonment under this section. Okay, so at that time imprisonment comes into existence. But up to there, okay, continued contravention, 5,000 per day should be paid by that particular person. If that person fails to pay 5,000 per day according to section 13, okay, within a period of time limit of 90 days, Okay, from the date on which the notice for payment of such penalty is served on that person, he will be liable to civil imprisonment, because under this criminal imprisonment is not there under FEMA Act. Okay, we will see only criminal cases in FERA Act only, not in this FEMA Act. So therefore, civil imprisonment can be seen in case of his uh, failure. Okay, failure of payment of penalty. And any adjudication authority, okay, adjudicating authority adjudging any contravention under subsection 1 may, if he thinks fit, in addition to any penalty which he imposes on such contravention, direct that any currency, security, or money or property in respect of which the contravention has taken place shall be confiscated to the central government. Okay, so what does this means? Adjudicating authority, okay, who gives the punishment, who gives the penalty. Okay, so that adjudicating authority judging any contravention means breach of provisions of FEMA Act under subsection 1 may, if he thinks, if adjudicating authority thinks that addition to any penalty needs for, even though a penalty is on a person, if he thinks that, the adjudicating authority thinks that this contravention, regarding this contravention, additional penalty should be levied on that particular person, he can direct that. Okay, any currency, security, money, okay, or property in respect of which the contravention has taken place. In all these 4 cases, if the contravention has taken place, he shall be confiscated, means forfeited. Forfeited is nothing but giving up of something as a penalty for wrongdoing. Okay, that is known as confiscation or forfeiting. Okay, it means that we are giving up of something as a penalty for doing a wrong thing. So here contravention has taken place, shall be confiscated, means in that place this will be confiscated to the central government. Okay, addition to penalty in case of this currency, security, or other money or property in respect of which the contravention has taken place. Okay, so further, direct to foreign exchange if any of the person committed the contravention or any part thereof shall be brought back into India or shall be retained outside India in accordance with the directions made in his behalf. Okay, so if any foreign exchange, if any one of the person committed contravention regarding this foreign exchange, means, so any part thereof shall be brought back into India. That person may be brought back into India or he shall be retained outside India only in accordance with the directions made in his behalf. Okay, so according to the directions, he may brought back to India or else he will be retained outside India. And if we see the who are the persons that are involved in this contravention, means the authority or the officers who are involved in this contravention, who will see we can say that the adjudicating authority who will see the contraventions. Okay, so less than 10 lakhs, for example, the transaction of contravention is regarding 10 lakhs, means the amount is 10 lakhs, means who will see that, who is the officer sees that thing, means assistant, okay, assistant general manager. He will look after the less than 10 lakhs transaction of contravention, regarding contravention. Okay, so assistant general manager, so all these are the offices of RBI. Okay, so if we see 10 lakhs, amount is 10 lakhs to 40 lakhs between, means who will see these transactions means deputy general manager. Okay, he will see those cases. Okay, and if at all it is 40 lakhs to 100 lakhs, who will look after these type of cases means general manager. Okay, and more than 100 lakhs means the chief general manager. Okay, he will look after all those cases. So this is all about the penalties. Okay, and if we see about authorized person. Okay, so who is an authorized person? So as I said before, Reserve Bank